Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Hitbox Stormgrounds Invitational. We're about to head into game number 4. The draft has started. Nothing's been picked or banned yet, so you haven't missed anything. I am Tetcher. I am joined by the wonderful forecourt Jester, and we just had our first ban by Navi. It's Zeratul.
Wonderful court Jester. See, you give me my own nomenclature here as well. Coming into this, Dragon Shard, not a map we've seen a lot of lately, but if you do remember, this map actually used to be like the king of the sieging points, the king of the defense heroes like Zagara, high meta, Sergeant Hammer, high meta, Nazebo back in the day, high meta. So if I had to guess with our current drafting styles, we're likely to see a Nazebo from one of these teams and probably a Zagara on top of that.
Yeah, I would agree. I think Liquid may bring out the Nazebo again. They seem enthusiastic about it. If they can, they'll grab both. Both of those are heroes who they've been prioritizing a lot. And they've been trying some different stuff in the last 2 games. It hasn't really gone so well for them. So I think, like I said, they may go back to the more tried and true formula.
So tried and true, yeah. If we see Black Scorp on Sergeant Hammer, I can die a happy man, I'll tell you that. But it's just probably not going to be happening. So what do we actually see? Zeratul ban, we see the Tyrande ban, and first pick from Navi, Johanna. Could this be threatening in Asmodan?
It could definitely be. This is a map that definitely favours the Asmodan style, as it's very easy to stack off of both mid and bottom lane. Throw Johanna in one of them, throw maybe a Tastar or a Jaina in one of the others, even a Kael'thas, and you can get it pretty going. Although Liquid, if they're going with their style that they were going last time, definitely not going to see a Kael'thas, as they just don't like letting anyone else have it.
Well, this is the first pick of Zagara. Yeah, Team Liquid definitely going to be prioritizing the Maw, the Creep, the lane ability for that solo capacity. What else would they actually prioritize here on this map this early? Because supports have been very common. Navi have actually been running a lot of double warriors, so would actually Team Liquid want to try to solidify that warrior now?
Maybe, that is the question. Do they want to get their priority pick on warrior, or are they comfortable just going with whatever they feel like? Liquid, if their previous drafts are anything to go by, this is when they may pick up a Nazebo, because those two together, Zagara and Nazebo, they really seem to love it.
They did it before. It didn't win, but they did it before.
Yeah, it's won every game until now.
I have some sneaking suspicions that they do put in a Nazebo right here. Then we're just going to see really hard counter engages, really hard dives coming in from Navi, because that's what you do. You have no escapes on either of those heroes.
Yeah, I think if they pick their Nazebo there, then Navi will just grab Jaina and then just grab either a second warrior or a support. I know if I had to guess second warrior.
Heck, they could even just go Jaina Kael'thas.
They could if they wanted to, and just try and burst those seats down from the backline. That would be interesting. And there's the Kael'thas coming from Liquid. They want it for their side this time.
Well, they had to either pick the Jaina or the Kael, and Zagara has the steady damage ready to go. Jaina, I think right now widely regarded as the highest burst in the game, but Kael'thas with the range. That's something that we have been kind of lacking from Team Liquid, like that super duper range kind of big attack. So as a Kael there, their single target is definitely going to be a bit better. The Flame Strike and Phoenix for the zoning to go with the Maw from Zagara, from those Hunter Killers from Zagara. So far, a lot of zone for Team Liquid.
Yep, a lot of zone, and that is great when you're fighting over those shrines. If you're like getting onto a shrine in the late game as you're one of Navi's assassins, for example, they're going, alright, I'm going to try and grab this sudden Flame Strike, and you've lost half your health. And
yeah, that happens.
Unfortunately, it does happen, and that is quite upsetting to realise, especially when you're the one on the receiving end of it. Navi going to get first dibs on support. They pick up the Uther, a good counter to the Flame Strike if you can just get the burst heal up to prevent people dying to Living Bomb as opposed to the healing over time from, say, a Malfurion, and Jaina as their first assassin.
Now, as a general talent tier pick at level 13, Jainas have been picking up Ice Block. We've actually been seeing some of the higher meta teams at NA going for Icy Veins into Numbing Root. Numbing Blast for the root. Numbing Root would be funny too.
We had that on EU as well, where you took the Snowstorm talent at level 4, and then Icy Veins because you don't take any mana regen till then,
right.
And then Icy Veins basically mitigates that.
Well, the bigger thing that I'm curious is, will Jaina actually go for the extended range on her Blizzard to kind of match that of the Flamethrower of Kael'thas. It kind of comes down to the rest of the draft, but there's a lot of ways to go with Jaina to try to counter out this comp from Team Liquid. But now it's Team Liquid's time to ban. And if you had to look at something here, we have that support, we have the DPS, and we have a tank already from Na'Vi. Who's left as a threat against Team Liquid?
Definitely anyone who can snipe Assassin. So the double warrior engage would be nice. The whole issue is Na'Vi basically need to bully Kael'thas as much as possible. Like, Illidan would have been very nice for Na'Vi there. If they had thrown that in, they could have easily run Hunt Illidan, or just gone full dive and just continued to just wreck Kael'thas until he gave up and couldn't do anything. So banning out the Illidan there I think is very suitable, especially seeing as Na'Vi already had the Uther.
Yeah, the Uther kind of really does threaten these melees, but with Johanna there, with Uther, there's two threats kind of still left on the board. Azmodan and Kerrigan.
Yep, Azmodan is definitely one I was going to say. If you get those stacks up, then if you think being hit by a Flame Strike from Kael'thas is fun, try being hit by a Black-Pooled Azmodan Globe of Annihilation fully stacked with Taste for Blood. Equally as unpleasant. And then they basically have snipe wars when they try to snipe each other all game. Much harder for it's actually quite hard to dodge either of them. If you're Azmodan, you have a much wider hitbox, so it's harder to dodge a Flame Strike. If you're Kael'thas, Azmodan's Globe of Annihilation is much wider radius, so it's hard to dodge that as well.
Would Na'Vi ban out the Rhaegar here?
I think if they're going for that, Rhaegar would be amazing to ban out.
If they're going for Azmodan, I would want to see a Rhaegar ban. If they're going for Kerrigan, I would want to see the Malfurion ban.
Okay, I think... Alright, this is interesting. They ban out the Muradin, which begs the question, which really telegraphs that they might be going for some kind of melee assassin still. Maybe a Kerrigan, like you did say. And that's the situation of Liquid may go into something a bit more defensive here, or a bit more backliney to try and deal with the Kerrigan kind of thing. Just something where they can counter her if she dives onto them. But this might just be Na'Vi banning out an extra warrior just so they're telegraph going for a melee and then going for the Azmodan, like we talked about earlier. We want this Azmodan to happen, in case you haven't noticed.
Well, I'm not sure want is the right word.
I do.
It's the leading... It's either going to be a melee or it's going to be an Azmodan. So Anubarak is the pickup here from Team Liquid. They're not going to allow Na'Vi any kind of chance at sniping out for a double tank build with the ban on Muradin, which would leave us kind of with material. So Team Liquid will solidify that. They do actually pick up the Rhaegar, so if they are thinking that the Uther will lead us into one of those melees, you need the burst healing available. So probably going to be a chain heal build. Level 7 is still very likely to be the cleanse, but you're going to see the chain heal and tidal waves. I can never remember actually what the 13
tidal waves is
called.
Right, I believe.
16 is tidal waves. Never remember what 13 is called, but it's the extra chain on the chain heal portion of it.
Yeah, it's not Healing Surge. That's the actual burst one. One sec.
Yeah, I can never remember it off the top of my head, but
neither can I. I'm going to load it up though.
This is why I was curious if it was going to be a Rhaegar ban, because if they are going for the massive burst of Jaina Azmodan plus whoever else really out there, then you would actually have a really favorable ban for Rhaegar.
Notice Healing Surge. Increase amount of heal by 25% and heals an additional target. Okay, then tidal wave level 16. Hooray.
Yeah. I remember every other town. I could just never remember 13. Yeah, and we've been alluding to it. It's either going to be the Azmodan or that melee, and Kerrigan is a big target, especially since Zeratul and Illidan are out, and we don't really see Butcher by himself without Tyrandas anymore.
Yeah, Tyrande Butcher is definitely, they stick together very much, and Liquid going to respond to this with a Tassadar, which I really like.
They need that survivability at this point. They need heals and shields. There's going to be big targets painted on the back of Kael'thas, on the back of Zagara. And once more, Team Liquid, they've kind of painted themselves into a little bit of a corner when it comes to getting engaged upon. Zagara can only offer up the Maw. Neither of those DPS have any escapes.
Yeah, Liquid have more than enough damage, and like you said, more into Flame Strike, more into Phoenix. It's going to be pretty devastating. Yeah, it's easy enough damage on the side of Liquid to justify this Tassadar. Even if I say Tassadar, I wouldn't be too adverse to him going wall here, but I think he's almost definitely going to go Archon. But if he did wall, he could definitely separate out Kerrigan from the rest of the pack. Even with Divine Shield, she could get caught out and killed with that.
Even with the Divine Shield? Yeah, I mean, there is a good amount of counterplay available to Team Liquid because they do have a little bit of that zoning potential with the Nubarak, with those Phoenixes, with the Maws. And now Archon as well, splash damage. You got to be very aware of grouping up. But Navi, I just feel like such a much more deadlier comp on this map.
Yeah, I would agree. It's all going to be about who Na'Vi can pick. If they can get Kerrigan onto Kael'thas or onto Zagara, then they can definitely win a game. Tassadar can dimensional shift, so he should be able to survive. Rhaegar's actually a very good target as well. They can burst him down pretty quickly. But Anub'arak or Tassadar should be able to get out.
Yeah, I mean, we don't really talk about escapes on Rhaegar too much. He does have Wolf Form. Wolf Form won't matter if you can't get a cleanse off and you get stun locked to death.
You can't. If you can't move, then Wolf Form means nothing. He used to be able to just use the Feral Lunge to get out if you like had a second free Feral Lunge to a minion and then move quickly to cancel it. Unfortunately, that's not in the game anymore.
The Feral Lunges?
Yeah, but the fact that you could attack a minion and then cancel the move somewhere else to cancel the attacks, you say Wolf Form.
Yeah, that was a little broken.
Yeah, cool as hell, but a bit broken.
A bit broken, yeah. All they had to do was just add the fact that you can't cancel it anymore. You're definitely going to be in a better spot. But Navi looking very strong here. Game number 4 with a 2-1 lead over Team Liquid, one of the veritable kings of Europe. A bit more of a defensive, survivable, controlling comp from Liquid, but you catch anybody with that Kerrigan engage, you could be having a bad time.
Yeah, and we have to remember that this could be the last game. If Liquid win this, then we're going to a game 5. But if Na'Vi win this, then they are going home at the champions, as they do have that 1 game advantage. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Dragonshire. It is time to introduce our team. So, ladies and gentlemen, spawning on the left-hand side, it is the blue team of Team Liquid, and starting in the top lane, playing the Zagara, which is going to be Falcon. In the mid lane, playing the Anub'arak, it is Lucifron. Playing the Tassadar, it's going to be Blackscorp. Playing the Rhaegar is Grandpa Cutter. And playing the Kael'thas is Vortex. And on the right-hand side, it is the red team, currently 1 game away from winning. It is Na'Vi. And all grouped up to the mid lane, playing the Valor is Schwimpy. Playing the Johanna is Breeze. Playing the Kerrigan is Wubby. Playing the Jaina is Eternal. Playing the Ufa is Splendor, and everyone was just seen by Oracle from Blackscorp.
So the Oracle for the counter ganks on these roams, it could actually get a lot of value from Blackscorp. We're going to have to see if it will be Mental Acuity at level 4 as well. There's a lot of bushes, which is why Kerrigan is a very popular pick and competitive on this map. But we do actually have a lot of death falling here into the mid, 5-on-3 right now. Zagara's top, looks like Kael'thas is bottom, and Na'Vi likely to just start ping-ponging at least early, looking for a transition to solidify a first blood.
Yeah, and they're trying to get Tassadar, but he dimensional shifts out, not going to get himself caught. Kael'thas playing very far back as well, not willing to risk it. And this is how Liquid were playing in the first game against the gank squad of Na'Vi. Last time it didn't really work out so well, but this particular comp is a bit more based on actually getting a kill for Na'Vi.
What kind of level 1 talents do we got here, Mr. Tetch? I'm just looking at back and forth. Looks like Reconstitution for our Zagara. Curious to see if we're going to see more battle momentum or more of the creep tumor at level 7 for that range going back and forth. Multi-shot build from the Vala, at least initially.
Yep, starting off with the composite arrows, this could be more of a Chinese, Korean style build, and a build that we've seen in EU and NA quite a lot, of just the full damage starting off with composite arrows, and then going for the extra hits on the Hungering Arrow. Just full focus on that damage.
Well, Schwimpy's going to get actually bottom. Wow, both points going very quickly over to Na'Vi at the minute-and-a-half mark. Not exactly going to be looking at a sub-2-minute dragon.
Wubby, bit caught out of position here, gets knocked up, gets flame strikes, and he goes down. Attempting to ravage out to a minion there, but still going down through that flame strike and living bomb. Falcon still fighting off Breeze in that top lane, but now that Eternal is here, he's a bit out of position. He's running back to his base, drops the infested drop to get Eternal off his horse, and that will allow him to get out. Anub'arak comes in from the back. Grandpa Cutter is here as well. 3 versus 3. Eternal coming in, gets some damage off onto Lucifron. Lucifron's already used his burrow charge here. In comes Wubby onto Grandpa Cutter instead of Lucifron. Lucifron shields himself. Splendor's taking a lot of damage here. Lucifron goes down. Splendor gets taken down as well, though, by Blackscorp. Blackscorp dimensional shifts to avoid the condemn, and that's a 1-for-1. Oh, Blackscorp gets pulled back in, though. Dimensional shift has got over, and he gets taken down too. And Ufa still here, just helping out, getting the heals, preventing Wobby from going down. And Falcon now in full retreat as well. He gets Code of Cold and gets Ice Lanced, but he will be able to back out.
I'm a look here. Did Anubrak initiate with that that burrow charge? He didn't use it for any escapes.
Yep, he initiated into the right-hand side bush of it, and now he's taking a lot of damage again. Manages to knock up Jaina, but able to tank all of that damage thanks to the heals from Grandpacutter. Down goes Zagara in the top lane to that to the Kerrigan gank. Kerrigan being dropped very low, but that is still both shrines once again over to Na'Vi. They're not going to be able to get the Dragon Knight as Vortex did grab that bottom shrine, and Ufa is doing a too good a job of defending the mid. Lucifer's doing too good a job of defending the mid lane.
Jeez, that Zagara is just not having fun in that top lane at all. So far, 3 kills, 2 going back and forth. Nobody as of yet able to play the musical chairs to produce that Dragon Knight. But the level 4 towns going back and forth. It looks like it's going to be pure Beetles out of Anubrak this round.
Yep, pretty Beetle focused at the moment. Splendor attempting to grab the Dragon Knight, but a Beetle prevents him. And the bottom shrine once again going over to Liquid, and they're actually going to get a couple more kills here. They get Eternal in exchange for Jaina. That's 1 for 1. And Blackscorp currently fighting Shrimpy. He's losing pretty badly. And he is going to be able to shield himself up, gets the heal from Grandpacutter, and that will force Shrimpy to back up a bit. But now Wobby's here. It will be fine. And that shrine will go back over to Na'Vi. However, Liquid, Zagara did grab the top shrine, but that's once again going back over to Breeze. And both shrines, again for Na'Vi, but there's too much pressure from Anubrak in that mid lane to let that Dragon Knight get taken.
Shrimpy's Valor is ridiculously scary.
Yes, it is.
Like, defending that point after the fact that Falcon, like, dropped with the multi-shot build as well. Imagine if he had the Q build. Oh my goodness, like, just so much damage kind of that. He's actually going to get to the searing attacks there as well. If you're not going to be going for the Q build, you typically don't see the reset on Q, but still looking for that first dragon. Level 7 talents are back and forth. It will be rapid incubation for the Zagara top there as well. Yeah,
a bit more sustained. We had for a little short bit of time 4 members for Na'Vi in this bot lane. Blackscorp coming around here, gets vision of Shrimpy. Wobby gets stormed, and he has taken adaptation, which allows him to ravage to his teammates, and that allows him to jump to Shrimpy and get out nice and safely.
Level 8's going back and forth now. Level 9 pretty much on the horizon here for Natus Vincere. We do got the cleanse. We don't have cleanse on Rhaegar.
That's interesting, but Johanna, it depends if actually there's a lot of stuns. Everyone can take a stun here. This is going to be interesting.
Yeah, they actually opt for the shield with the Earth Shield for lightning. We do see the mental acuity there, and the double size storms coming out for Artasadar as well. Yeah,
Blackscorp taking a lot of damage, but he's baiting out Wobby here, and Wobby goes down. Well played by Blackscorp, just being a complete distraction there. Grandpacutter trying to bait out Shrimpy to come too far forward so Vortex can join back in. But Shrimpy playing a bit too far back, able to keep himself alive. However, Shrine once again going to stay in possession of Liquid. And Zagara looks like she wants to try and steal top lane.
So, Wobby baiting out the Kerrigan, I mean, like, it was basically Kerrigan's fault that she kind of missed it right there. I mean, she didn't time out her combo very well. And something else to notice here, at level 7, Kerrigan actually has the jump to allies on Ravage. She is going to actually give herself and gimp her. Oops, sorry, everything froze here for a second. She's going to gimp her offense for that extra escape for the utility.
Yeah, but it's been working out for her pretty well. That adaptation talent, pretty effective. Vortex taking a lot of damage here from Shrimpy in the spot lane. They're going for a quick duel. Living Bomb is dropped. Vortex gets half health. Shrimpy gets taken a third of his health off. Both shrines in favor of Na'Vi. They now have 3 people in this mid lane. Looks like they may want to try it this time. Kerrigan going up to the top lane, going to try and grab Zagara, but bot lane, Shrine's already been taken. Zagara's playing a bit too far back to lose it. Vortex taking a lot of damage here.
Those level 10s coming out, it is actually going to be strafe there from the Vala. I mean, we don't have to worry about too much in terms of any kind of big stuns. Really, it's just the Anubarak with a Maw to stop out that that strafe. So I think strafe can get some really good value here.
Yep, the Zagara Maw could be the counter. Otherwise, you're looking at Kael'thas maybe using an infused Gravity Lapse. And just any Anub stuns, like you did say. So, going to be interesting. For now, though, Vortex and Grandpacutter holding at that shrine, and that was an interesting bounce. Apparently, those shrines can act as a bounce for your heal. That's pretty cool.
Huh. Okay, that's news to me.
Good to know. I will remember this. But it just bounced off of Vortex onto the shrine and back to Grand Paqueta. That's pretty cool.
That feels like a bug. Like,
I don't know.
you could actually lose a team fight because of that.
Towers coded as minions. Now we know.
You could actually lose a team fight for that. That's very interesting.
Yeah.
All right, so everything else going back and forth. 4 kills, 4, and still we're looking for that first dragon. 8 minutes and counting. Nobody as of yet able to free that knight.
Yeah, they're both trying. When neither one's able to get it, we are seeing Na'Vi grab their hard camp for now. They're going to have no contestation. Breeze in the top lane does have to back up, but there's quite a few members of Liquid here. And Liquid, they're going aggressive, going to try and get their Dragon Knight right now, but Na'Vi grouping up in the mid lane will prevent this from happening.
It seems to be a big game of footsies, and these footsies are not including mercenaries. We have not seen very many camps taken at all.
Yeah, it's just this Bruiser camp that has just been taken by Na'Vi. I think it's the only one. Shrimpy very low here. Vortex doesn't land his stun onto Infernal, and the Flame Strike doesn't land on either of them. Na'Vi just continuing to stay from range and harass, whereas Liquid have been the ones proactively trying to get stuff done. However, they have managed to take quite a few towers. Neither team, though, just really getting their footing in this matchup.
Yeah, a few towers here and there. Not really big advantages. In fact, we're actually on par for that experience. Spell Shield on the Anubarak, Spell Shield on the Johanna. We do got the Ice Block on Jaina. Feral Lunge on Rhaegar.
Ooh. That is very interesting. I guess because damage is cool?
Well, I mean, back at the draft I was talking about like the heal dog at this point. This would be where that healing surge comes into play. Because you're going to have a heck of a lot of distributed damage that you have to deal with. And Rhaegar is one of the better heroes to do that. It's either going to be him or Malfurion. The Uther, not really equipped for distributed damage healing.
If I had to guess, it's...
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt. I guess it's just purely because they have so many squishies. And here they go. They're going on to Wubby here. Wubby, Adaptate, jumping onto Blackscorp to try and get out. Divine Shield is used on him. And he will get out. Strafe also goes down. And no one died in that. But Liquid, health-wise anyway, came off a lot worse. And like you said, this is where the distributed healing would come in. But if I had to guess, this is why Feral Lunge would have been taken, due to the fact that every assassin, including the melee one, on the side of Na'Vi is very squishy, and that extra damage from the Feral Lunge could be enough to get that burst down.
Shouldn't fall to Rhaegar in order to do that. Should actually fall to the Tassadar with that Archon, but past that, I mean, yeah, if we can't actually deal with these AoEs from Na'Vi, we will see that advantage emerge fairly soon.
Very true, and Shrine's just instantly trading hands there. There was a split second where they were both in favour of Na'Vi, but Lucifron grabbing the bot one. He is now, however, taking every auto from Shrimpy, and that is a lot of damage. Shrimpy takes a full Flame Strike to the face, though. That is a chunk of health, and Falcon is going to take back that top shrine. Now, if they can hold bot for a couple seconds, Tassadar may be able to get it, but no, Kerrigan is there in the mid lane to prevent that, and Shrimpy is in the bot lane. No Dragon Knight, still 11 minutes.
Teams are just unwilling
Oh my God, Shrimpy.
They're unwilling to play musical chairs, musical shrine.
Blackscorp, that's not who you want Ancestral, Grand Paqueta. Blackscorp going down to the poison there, to the Envenom out of Wubby. That was not the right target to Ancestral healing there from Grand Paqueta. Healing himself on full health.
Yeah, that was the misplay of the day right there. That is not going to be boding well here for Liquid. We finally have a man advantage for Na'Vi. Top, bottom, and mid. In that order should actually be the big priorities here. And Na'Vi could actually threaten the first dragon of the game.
They are in fact trying to do so. They've got control of the bottom shrine, and Breeze has been able to push Zagara out of the top one. Wubby getting ready to try and capture this. They're going to try and give it to Jaina while Wubby holds back Lucifron. Lucifron knocks her up from quite far away though. There's the stun from Wubby, and that gives Eternal enough time to grab the first Dragonite of the game at 12 minutes.
As I said, with that man advantage, I mean, the map positioning, the pressure, just the amount of damage left. There was no Ancestral, there was no Tassadar, and everything kind of fell into place there from Na'Vi. So a 12-minute Dragon Knight, a level 16 Dragon Knight, is fairly powerful.
Yep, it does a lot. It's not the 20-minute Dragon Knight that does like a K per auto attack that basically ends games by right-clicking on cores. But so far we don't have a single fort down either, so this Dragon Knight might be able to make a kind of move in that area. For now, though, he's just taking all the damage. And Kael'thas has hit level 16, and he does have Gathering Power. So he's going to start doing quite a lot of damage.
If you're not going to actually get a fort... No, we actually did get the fort. Never mind. I'm looking at the wrong part of the map. No, they didn't get a fort.
No
Why
fort
can I
down
not...
yet.
I can't actually see that icon for some strange reason. If you can't get a fort at a 12-minute dragon, then something is kind of up.
Well, he got some towers, which is nice, I guess. But that's still fine. There's still a little bit of extra for Na'Vi, and as such, they have a tiny sliver of XP in their favour. And for now, both teams are finally like, well, there's no dragon fight over anymore. Let's do every mercenary.
Well, it's about time. I mean, 13 minutes in, we've had a very light mercenary participation so far in this match, but not exactly the big advantage I was expecting to see there from Na'Vi. I was expecting multiple towers, a fort, maybe even 2 forts. Like, typically with a dragon, you push one lane and the 4 others push the other, and you can get a lot done. Even early on, you see those strategies with a 3, 4, 5-minute Dragon Knight. So a 12, not getting value? Ugh.
Nice ice block from Infernal there, preventing the knockup from a new bracket. It is able to do a bit of counter damage onto Liquid. And they're all able to get away, dodge the Flame Strike, and Wubby just adapting over the wall. In the meantime, Breeze is split pushing top, but Liquid just going to continue this pressure on the bot lane. And they're going to get a slight advantage out of this. They're able to get their level 18s and continue to push this in. Wubby looks like he wants to try and maybe just catch someone out, but Black Scorp dimensional shifting out of this. No Flame Strikes are landing as of this moment in time, but this will be Liquid's first fort, able to take that down. But Breeze looks like he will grab the first fort for Na'Vi just solo, and this is going to work out way better for Na'Vi, splitting in 2 lanes as opposed to 1.
Well, finally seeing some of these forts actually drop at the 18-minute mark.
Breeze. So there's a lot of people here, all on Breeze. He pops his trait to try and survive, but that's 5 versus 1. There's the Flame Strike, and down he goes. He ran through the bushes as opposed to through lane and ran into all of Liquid. The Bruiser's still pushing this top lane, but Na'Vi down numbers. The shrines have just spawned, but Liquid a bit busy defending at the moment. They will grab the top shrine though.
Now, you said that was actually a better trade from Na'Vi, but Na'Vi was on the defensive in one lane. They lost the fort. Sure, they got the fort top, but now they've actually lost Johanna. So I would actually postulate that Team Liquid got the better of the trade.
Yeah, it was good until Johanna died.
Right, but that's the thing. I mean, she was so far away from the rest of the team.
Down goes Schwimpy as well in the mid lane, and this is just not working. Suddenly, Na'Vi losing people left, right, and center, but Falcon looks like he's going to go down as well. And we're just seeing people getting picked off everywhere. And Wubby coming in to Infernal, coming in to give Wubby somewhere to jump to, but there's so many members of Liquid. Ice Block being used by the Infernal here to keep him alive. There's the Divine Shield, and that protects him from the Flame Strike. But he's spin Shrink Ray to try to take him down. Lucifron knocks him up, and down goes the Infernal as well. And we're seeing Wubby run down to the bot lane here to just try and grab the shrine, as we're seeing Kael'thas go for the top one. And this is just to try and prevent the Dragon Knight, but Wubby must know. This member is clearing the way first, so this is going to be a Dragon Knight for Liquid. Wubby needs to grab this fast. No, we're seeing the fight in the top lane. And we're seeing Johanna and Uther able to prevent that shrine from being taken. This is actually going to be both shrines going over to Na'Vi. If that top shrine can be held, then Wubby might be able to sneak it. But it's unlikely by the looks of it. It's going to happen. Lucifron camping the mid lane, and Kael'thas grabbing the top shrine.
Team Liquid still, I think, got the better of those rotations by far. They definitely played much more deathball into those last few fights. Sure, they lost out Falcon for it, but overall, I mean, both shrines for the pressure, they got level 21st, and now they're just starting to get a lot of value from the lack of a 5-man deathball ready for Na'Vi.
Yep, Wubby getting caught out here, gets slowed by Grand Paqueta. Ancestral goes down to Vortex, keeping him alive. Flame Strikes, once again, not landing. But Na'Vi a bit outnumbered here. Valor is down below them, and Jada has just arrived from the grave. Dragon Knight going over to Liquid. Schwimpy gets Flame Striked. He bolts away to make sure he doesn't get punted by the Dragon Knight. We're seeing Rhaegar get dropped super low. He does get taken down. Splendor bringing the Dragon Knight to bear here in the fight. Wubby gets wiped out from a single hit from the Dragon Knight. There's the punt onto Jada. And the Dragon Knight will push in onto this top lane. That is a 1-for-1 trade. Rhaegar for Kerrigan. But they get Liquid get a Dragon Knight out of it as well and will get this top fort.
The problem with going down as Rhaegar for Team Liquid means that this push isn't really going to be as strong as it could have been. Much rather would have seen like Tassadar or anybody go down.
Well, Tass did just go down to Shrimpy, in the mid lane.
Yeah, so even though we have the Dragon Knight here from Liquid, it's a better defensive position for Na'Vi.
Yeah, they're actually making this pretty well. They do save that fort, and now the Dragon Knight's been pushed very, very far back. Uther, been doing what a lot of Uthers have been doing lately, still not picked his level 20. Yep, yeah. Waiting to pick his level 20 in case he dies, then he can pick Redemption. Johanna taking a Flame Strike. Kael'thas has yet to die in one of these fights, so he is still on pretty much max stacks, I'm pretty sure.
Well, that's definitely going good for Team Liquid, but it's really kind of only the one good points right now. Look at this defensive Dragon Knight from Lucifron. This is what happens in team fights where you actually get the objective, but you lose the fight. You usually can't follow up with it. If Lucifron overextends, he will drop. He wouldn't even get a lot of value out of it in a 1v5 situation anyways.
Yeah, but Na'Vi, perfect dodging there. Dodging out from that Flame Strike. And there's the bolt being used by the Kael'thas, as he did see Wubby there. He did not want to get engaged upon. And Na'Vi just putting on so much pressure here to try and catch out someone. Wubby coming in, doesn't catch anyone.
I don't know. I mean, Team Liquid so far, like, they had a really good set of plays, but then they kind of mucked it up a little bit. Na'Vi right now is looking a little bit stronger. If they can get one good engage with this Kerrigan, especially with Team Liquid, you know, kind of bunched up there in the mid, it could be curtains for Team Liquid on top of that. Still waiting for that Uther talent. 3 bolts of the storm from Na'Vi as well. And that's a bolting Jaina with numbing blast. That could be basically the game right there.
Yep, a bolt into Water Elemental into Cone of Cold could really end the game, and that would allow Wubby to basically get off his full combo and continue to CC train them. And that's why we see Na'Vi postured like this. They're putting Breeze really far forward to try and draw Liquid out, to force them to group, force them to get caught, and force them to take all of those abilities and all of that damage. Blackscorp, though, is cancelling that out, though, using his Oracle whenever it's up to try and catch something, and Tassadar is just storming as much as possible, just dealing harass damage from afar.
Level 21 from each side. We've had, what, 2 dragons in 20 minutes and 4 mercenary camps captured? It's
I think we had like the full
number.
I think we had like the full rotation, so I think we've had like 7 overall. But
in 20 minutes, yeah. What happened?
Exactly.
We just went from a game where everybody started murking early on from Blackheart's Bay to almost nobody even giving 2 hoots about some of these mercenaries. But as we still do these footsies back and forth, the next set of shrines are about to be popping. Yeah,
we're seeing a bit of a rotation here. Na'Vi giving up their easy camp to take that top shrine and just keep control of that. They do not want to let Liquid grab a Dragon Knight this late in the game, but now Liquid still grouped up in this bot lane, and Na'Vi looks like they may want to fight from this back angle. Grand Bakutta and a Creep Tumor will give them vision of this. Wubby clears out the Creep Tumor, and that will instantly force Blackscorp to Oracle and force Liquid to play a bit further back, as now they don't have as good vision. Nice Flame Strike, though, onto Infernal. In comes the engagement. Wubby just doing as much damage as he can here. Lucifron is on to Shrimpy and Infernal in the background. Shrimpy vaults away from the Flame Strike and keeps himself alive. No one going down on either side. Splendor is able to escape and not get caught in the Devouring Maw. Wubby does not get caught by the Totem. Breeze is pushing very aggressively here, but that's just a stun. All those easy camps there. The root lands onto Tassadar, but he does have Dimensional Shift up, so he can escape if he needs to. And notice Flame Strike! Oh my god, the dodges from Na'Vi are so good.
If you can't hit a Flame Strike, it doesn't matter how powerful it is. If it doesn't hit anybody, you're not going to get that value. And we had a heck of an engage. I mean, we had bolts going down, a lot of heroics are actually out, and pretty much every heroic is actually out. But Team Liquid are not able to make any headway.
They're in full retreat as well. Shrimpy coming in very aggressively here, lands his slow. There's the strafe coming down. Wubby takes most of the Phoenix. He bolts in onto Blackscorp, gets the stun down onto 2. Blackscorp is trying to back away. Down goes Anubarak. That is the first kill of the fight. Blessed Shield lands on 3 members. We see the bolt from Falcon trying to get him escape. Blackscorp's on no health. Wubby chases him down and gets the kill. And that is 2-0. They're going on to Rhaegar as well. He's taking so much damage. He is slowed by Eternal. Breeze is pushing in as well, but Breeze is being dropped low. He gets knocked up by Kael'thas. He shields himself to get out. Wubby takes a Flame Strike to the face. And that's so many low members here for Na'Vi, but they do get 2 kills, and as such, they're going to get the bottom shrine. And this will likely be a 22-minute Dragon Knight for them. And that's a lot of damage. They're probably going to get a keep out of this, or just the other 2 forts.
Oh man, that creep wave into the top just clearing the way. That is a naked keep ready to go. 2 forts still standing, and the man advantage. Wow, Wubby's able to actually get that Dragon Knight so very quickly. And yeah, with, again, that 5-man advantage, there's forts, there's keeps, and a 22-minute Dragon Knight, Na'Vi is looking super good. In that fight, 2 things I want to point out is that we had a game-changing Flame Strike ready to go on Eternal. Last minute, blinks out of it. Again, you get no value from anything you miss. But then as well, you know, Kerrigan with that second sprint of the fight, chasing down the Tastar, just massive blades.
Oh, another engagement coming in here. Down goes Zagara again, straight from Shrimpy on the sidelines here. He cancels it just so he could get a better angle for his abilities here and get the slow so his team can escape. The keep goes down. Wubby in this Dragonite is about to be killed out of it. Wants to punch Vortex one last time though. Vortex didn't actually go anywhere that time, but Wubby continuing to push in here. Ah, Clez, there we go. But he was still stunned, which was kind of interesting. Black Scorp taking quite a bit of harassment from the Dragonite. Dragonite will back up here. And that Dragonite was actually doing my resolution worth of auto-attack damage, 1080p, every single time it auto-attacked. That is awesome.
Actually, right. I didn't even see the cleanse go off, so I don't have an answer on that one. Sorry.
There we go. We do see the easy cap getting taken by Na'Vi here, and they're just putting on as much pressure as they can. Flame Strike lands on Shrimpy. That's not what you want to do, but Uther is nearby. He can heal Shrimpy up once Shrimpy gets to him. And Liquid are not near enough to give chase and get a kill out of it. Meantime, Na'Vi just going to grab this Bruiser Camp in the bot lane as well. There's the heals on Shrimpy, just keeping him healthy and safe. And Liquid completely on the back foot here. And they're now currently, they still have to get through 2 forts and 3 keeps, whereas Na'Vi have now taken down 3 keeps and 1 keep and 3 forts.
We're getting to the point where like a 26 to 28 minute Dragon Knight could actually just rush core and set ourselves up a win condition.
If there was a keep down, they probably could have done it then.
Right, but now that there is a keep down, the next Dragon, which is going to be stronger anyways, I have seen 30-minute Dragons just walk into core, tank 5 team members, and win the game.
Yeah, exactly.
It can happen. So we're setting ourselves up very nicely here from Navi. You're right, we don't exactly have that same kind of recourse for Liquid, but if Liquid do get a good fight and a Dragon, they can easily go in through bottom and get that keep and threaten the core very easily. We're at the point where death timers are hitting those 60-second plus marks, which means that any kind of swing, it's still anybody's game.
Yeah, but Liquid can definitely win, but they're so defensive right now. They're really going to struggle to fight over this Dragon Knight. And as such, you can see them grouping up in this top lane as they needed to clear it, so they're going to go for this top shrine. And as such, Na'Vi, knowing they don't 100% need to take a fight here, they're going to go safe first and go for bottom shrine. So even if they lose a fight and only lose like 1 or 2 members, they've still bought some times that Liquid have to waste to grab the Dragon Knight so that they can fight again, so that they have time to respawn and fight again and save their base.
And remember as well, catapults are going to be in that mid lane as well. Every time we can go right by it, Na'Vi have been clearing it, and that is putting up more and more pressure that Team Liquid just have to keep in the back of their mind. So clearing up some of the creep, getting some of these kills.
Wubby and Splendor, bit separated out here. Splendor gets demounted. Lucifron is giving chase, has the stun potential available, and Wubby's a bit out of position here. Gets a Hunter Killer on him. Vortex getting ready, and there's the bolt from Wubby, keeping him safe, and he can adaptation jump to Splendor if he needs to. He has 2 Mutalisks on him. The shrines do trade hands. Top going over to Na'Vi, bot going over to Liquid will prevent a Dragon Knight. Ufa still yet to pick his level 20 because he's still yet to die. At this point, do you just like say, "Well, I'm not dying. Do I just not pick it?"
I don't under 4 levels of not taking an ultimate out of Splendor. I mean, if you hit Redemption, the timer doesn't start then. The timer starts when you die. Well, not even the timer will start on the respawn check. The respawn check will happen. If there's Redemption, he'll spawn, and the timer will be there. What else is he waiting for? Storm Shield? I don't even know what else he can get level 20 past.
He gets slow, he bolts. Oh my god, that was awesome. Wubby sprints as well, and what an escape by Wubby there. He bolted into adaptation, into sprint, and got away. That was fantastic.
Alright, Uther, Storm Shield, Redemption, or Bulwark of Light. That's all you can get.
Yeah.
Is it really so much of a choice?
Na'Vi, they're pushing in here. It looks like they're attempting just to pull Liquid back. They're not going... I really doubt they go for the core here. But they're trying to show that they are, just to pull Liquid away from this. To give Johanna... There it is. Johanna's trying to grab that top shrine here. Kerrigan is prepared next to this Dragon Knight. Kael'thas is near it as well. They need to make sure they don't lose anyone for this. There's the bolt by Shrimpy. He takes damage. Wubby is going for the Dragon Knight. Vortex is here, though. And engages onto Wubby. Wubby bolting away, though. He's trying to sneak in again. Lucifron is here. Breeze is here. Flame Strike doesn't land in time. That is a Dragon Knight for Wubby. He punts away Falcon. And now they're beginning to push in. And somehow, Na'Vi with the perfect baits don't lose a single person. However, Valor's not here. Bolt from Infernal. These teams just so good at dodging each other. Just incredible. And Valor's now back, so Na'Vi can actually afford to go aggressive here. Falcon going to get punted again by Falcon. And we're going to see Na'Vi begin to go aggressive with this Dragon Knight Ice Block from Eternal, as he knew he didn't have the time to dodge that Flame Strike. And they're just not taking any damage from this. There comes the Phoenix to try and zone. Flame Strike lands onto Splendor. He's able to heal up Shrimpy here. Blizzard coming down on top of Lucifer here. The Dragon Knight is pushed all the way forward. He gets Zagara and is continuing to chase forward here. He punts away Rhaegar, who is completely out of position. Dragon Knight continues to push forward. He has half health. He's just going to right-click the core and push on. Vortex bolts away. There's the core. Na'Vi still have all 5 members alive, whereas Liquid only have 4. The core's taking so much damage. And we're seeing everyone go in as the Divine Shield goes down onto Valor. Eternal drops all his abilities. Dragon Knight gets popped, but it's not going to be enough. And GG! Na'Vi wins this game and the match. And they are your Hitbox Stormgrounds Invitational champions.
I'm taking a screenshot of that. Splendor, to the end, did not pick a level 20 talent.
He didn't know.
That is screenshot worthy. This is Splendor saying, "What's up, Team Liquid?"
I need
brushes off his shoulders with the eagles on him, polishes his hammer a little bit. It's like, don't even need it. Oh, my God.
Even close. Not even close. He almost died in that last fight as well, so he would have had to take it. But he just kept himself alive, Divine Shielded. He could have even taken just the Divine Shield upgrade, and when he did that to Valor, he would have Divine Shielded himself for that last fight as well. So we could have just done that and just guaranteed a win that way. But I didn't even need it.
Yeah. That's something. I have never seen that level of confidence in this game before.
I mean, even, like, surely at some point you just give up and just take it or take something else. Like you said, that's 4 levels. 28-minute game, 4 levels of not picking a level 20 talent.
So either we're giving him way too much credit, or he just simply forgot.
He just clicked it and was like, oh, I got it, and didn't actually click it.
Can you ask him if he actually knew that he didn't have it?
I don't have him, but I have his teammate.
Ask his team if this was like a cow. I have to know.
Okay.
I have to know. On the regards of the last fight, I mean, just absolutely, you said it, you know, these teams are so good at dodging each other. Eternal and those blinks are just so good when it comes to just dodging out of some of those value flame strikes. There were so many times that this could have been game number 5 from Team Liquid and Crew. But as we see, I mean, it is going to be that 3-1 Na'Vi victory. They had the comp, at least in my books, from the beginning at that draft phase. It just seemed a little too passive, a little too weird from Liquid. There was no Aberthu this time, but the Mirrodin ban leading us into a new Barak. I mean, the threat of the Illidan throwing away bans basically from Team Liquid. It just came out flawlessly for Na'Vi. So they are your Stormgrounds champion here for our first event powered by Hitbox, sponsored by SteelSeries. Hopefully you guys have entered all the social media contests there as well, because I believe that SteelSeries and Crew are going to be figuring out who those victors are in the next little bit. So, you know, we tried so hard to give you so many chances to win some awesome swag from our sponsors. But, you know, the Stormgrounds overall, pretty successful set of games, I gotta say, Mr. Tetcher.
Yeah, it was very entertaining. And on the subject of that giveaway, I think we should probably give them one last run over, just that last minute entry while we close out, see if I get a message, and give me time to see if I get a reply from Breeze. So you can win a SteelSeries Sensei Raw and a SteelSeries QCK. That is the Heroes of the Storm mouse from SteelSeries and the Heroes of the Storm mouse pad. And there are 3 ways for you to enter. You can either enter via Twitter, where you can use the hashtag Stormgrounds in your tweet, and that will include you in the prize draw, or you can head over to Facebook to the SteelSeries page, which is facebook.com/SteelSeries, and leave a wall post saying, I love hashtag Stormgrounds. And the final way you can do it is to follow this stream you are watching right now on Hitbox, which is just the little button just below you. All you have to do is to click that, and you will be entered into the prize draw. And I did not get a reply from Breeze. Sad times.
Oh, I'm so sad about that one. I mean, when you die, you can take the redemption. Sure, fine, but like
4 levels,
almost 5 levels by the end of it. Like 6 minutes of just sitting there with a question mark.
I will PM you on Skype if I get a reply for this.
That's too funny. All right, so Navi showing that this new patch of theirs, they definitely know what is up. Team Liquid will fall, and the lion's share of the prize money here is going to go over to Navi, and I believe that means that we are done. Stormgrounds is in the bag. Navi really kind of coming out strong on that one.
Yep, super excited for them. Massive congratulations, and very interested to see if they can keep this kind of pressure up in the tournaments coming ahead. For example, these two teams will meet again at the coming up DreamHack, which is going to be awesome. See if Na'Vi can show that this wasn't just a fluke and push through and just show that, yeah, we're the new kings now. Get out of here, Liquid. This is our throne.
Yeah, few games. I believe they played a best of 3 on Thursday, best of 3 on Friday, and a best of 5 today, and they go home with $1,000. Is it $1,000 or €1,000 to their name?
I'm not entirely sure.
Everything that I read says dollars, so they get $1,000. Congratulations to them. It's 200 each. Not too shabby for a few hours of gameplay, and as well, Navi again just showing the world why they are going to be one of the kings of Europe. We'll have to see how they fare in upcoming tournaments. Of course, the road to BlizzCon EU still has yet to kind of go public about everything, and of course, you know, BlizzCon itself coming up, $1 million. You can almost be guaranteed at this point, I think, that we're going to have more and more social media in and around the Stormgrounds. So, you know, guys, you got to hit those buttons. If you hit follow here, you're going to know the next one. If you hit the follow out there using the hashtags and all that, guess what? You're going to be the first to know about any kind of upcoming tournaments here from Hitbox or Stormgrounds themselves. And I got to say, Tetra, it's been absolutely a pleasure having me here from across the pond. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thanks for coming, man. You were absolutely fantastic. I always love casting with you. It is always awesome. But for now, we've bought enough time for Breeze to reply. I don't think he's going to. So it is best that we sign off. So once again, thank you very much from myself and Forecourt. Just a huge thank you to you guys watching and to Hitbox and our sponsor SteelSeries. And hopefully we'll see you on the next one of these.
Take care.